So let's quickly go through how to set up your truss so you can print it and then have a one-to-one size drawing. One of the things when I showed you how to put the frames together, right, that I just found out, one of the other kids showed me, if you go in here and you select all of your frames, right, so the individual parts that makes up each of your frames, go in and say edit with frame generator. We did note, or we did find a better size to use. So it'll take a second because my computer is incredibly slow. And before we were using this rectangular, the category of rectangular base here. And so I pre-selected it, but it's unselected everything. So I'm just going to go back and select through everything again. And then remember to change it, I have to click these little the little check boxes to the side. So I'm going to go up here, and from rectangular, I'm going to change that to square, flat bar steel. Now you'll have a few more. If you start from the top, you're going to have a few more than the ANSI. But if you start the ANSI, flat bar steel, okay, and then that will let us go in, and you can see 1/16 by 1/16. But we have our material size, which is 3/16 by 3/16, or 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch, depending on which piece that you're using. So we're going to go 3/16 by 3/16, which is what we used on the last time we built trusses. All right, once you get that picked, hit apply. It's going to say you're changing all the members, and you're going to say, sure, I want to do that. And then it's going to go through and it's going to regenerate all of these. All right, and so now it's the size that you want it to do. I'd pre-trimmed mine, and it's now untrimmed it, and so it's doing a little bit of weirdness as to which side it's going on, but yours should be fine. All right, so if we go File, all right, and you don't have to do that if you like the size you're in. It'll just make, when you lay your piece, piece of balsa down, it'll make it the exact size. All right, so then we'll go File, New, Drawing. Okay, and it's going to bring up the drawing. All right, I'm going to go back here and just go ahead and save this, because it's going to want us to save it. It's just going to want to know, like, hey, do you want to save everything? Yes, I want to save everything. It's going to want that saved. And then go back to my drawing. And then I'm going to hit base. And it's going to drop my piece in there. Switch it to 1-to-1 to make it full sized. Hit OK, and then drag it. Okay, and notice, like, when I redid that, it's messed everything up. Don't worry about that. This is how you get to the print. Okay, so I've got that set. All right, all I need to do now is save it. All right, so I'll call that assembly 24-inch bridge. It already exists because I tested this before, and it's saved. And so now I can go File, Export, PDF. Okay, so we want to write this out in a PDF. Make certain you know where you save this to. Right now it's going to Engineering Lab, which is not where I want to do it. It's much easier for me to get, like, say, my downloads. And so then I'll save this assembly 24-inch bridge PDF in a known place, right? Because you're going to have to go find this on your own. Hit save, and it's going to write that out as a PDF. Okay, I'm done with Inventor at this point. Okay, what I'm going to do is, if I go over here, open it up in the wrong thing, right? And I go to my downloads, right? I'll see my assembly 24-inch bridge, right? On the lab computers, if you just double click this, it's going to open it up in Microsoft Edge, and it's going to be a hot mess. All right, you won't be able to print it to the correct size. What you want is Acrobat Reader. All right, so hit the Windows key, bring this up, and then you'll see it right here in the A's, and click on it. Now I have the full version of Acrobat. You'll have Acrobat Reader. This is here because I tested this earlier. All right, but then just go File, Open. I'm in my downloads, assembly 24-inch bridge, open. All right, and then there's your bridge. All right, and then all you have to do is go File, Print, and there's two things you have to change. All right, step back a second. Go over to the printer, plug it in. Right, so you'll plug in the printer. Your computer will automatic discover and mount that printer. And then at that point, once the printer's all plugged in and your computer has recognized it, now you can go File, Print. It should, I think it's an HP 502. It should make this the correct one. If you get, some people have noticed that it says something about Fourier. That's the one that's up the hall. You don't want that one. So make sure you get, I think it's HP 502. But just look on the printer, okay? So make sure this is set to the correct one. Click on Poster, okay? And notice it's taking that drawing and dividing it up into 12 pieces, all right? So once you click on Poster, so it'll do this full size. If, and you can see the preview here, right? There's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of paper that's super critical to me, all right? If you've made this too high, right, and it's going across 8 pieces of paper, it's worth the time to go and move it down and get it centered up, just from the fact it makes sure cutting it out and gluing it together or taping it together so much simpler. All right. The other thing, so you want to hit Poster, you want to click on Cut Marks, you want to make sure this is 100%. So correct printer, Poster, 100%. Cut marks. And what cut marks will do, will give you some lines and you can take over the cutting board, and you want to cut the side off of these 4 pieces, right? Cut one side, the same side off each of those 4 pieces. You don't want to cut all of it because you want to be able to glue it together. Hit Print. It will go ahead and do its print thing, and then let me switch this to this, right? And so what you will have when this is all said and done is you will have, I've had this upside down, you will have a piece of paper that you have taped together. So you'll notice I've just taped it together on the back, all right? And these are the cut marks that I'm talking about. So for each of these papers on the left-hand side, I cut down the left-hand side cut marks, right? And then I put it together. Right. If you cut both, then it won't overlap, and then it's much harder to tape. Right? But then you'll create that, and then you can take it, glue this to a piece of your cardboard. Right. Use a hot, glue stick or just some tape. Put some wax paper over top of it, and then you have a really solid thing to build your truss with. All right. So that's it. If you have any questions, come talk to me in class.